Welcome, friends. In a world that often feels like it's celebrating busyness and stress, how do we find true peace? We're often told to hustle, to worry, to stay alert to every potential problem. It's a constant pressure to keep moving, to anticipate the next crisis, and to carry the weight of it all on our own shoulders. But what if there's another way? What if the path to tranquility isn't found in controlling every outcome, but in something else entirely? Imagine a different time, a different setting. Picture a vast, serene lake reflecting the warm colors of a setting sun. On these calm waters, a small fishing boat carries Jesus and his closest friends, the disciples, as they cross the Sea of Galilee. It was late, and the air was cool and still. After a long day of teaching and healing, Jesus, tired from the demands of his ministry, had fallen fast asleep on a cushion in the stern of the boat. He was completely at rest, a picture of perfect peace. But the peace didn't last. Suddenly, and without warning, a furious storm descended upon them. This wasn't just a strong wind, it was a violent squall. The kind of tempest that makes even seasoned fishermen, like many of the disciples, tremble with fear. Vicious winds whipped the water into a frenzy, and massive waves began to crash violently over the sides of the boat, threatening to capsize them at any moment. Raw, primal fear gripped their hearts as they scrambled to bail water, fighting a losing battle against the chaos. Amidst the raging wind and the crashing waves, their initial resolve turned into sheer panic. How could their teacher sleep through this? In desperation, they rushed to Jesus, shaking him awake. Their voices, strained with terror, cried out over the roar of the storm. "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" It's a deeply human question, one many of us have asked in our own way when life's storms hit. "God, don't you see what I'm going through? Don't you care about my pain?" And then Jesus did something extraordinary. He stood up, calm and composed amidst the chaos that terrified his friends. He looked out at the furious wind and the raging waves, and with divine authority he simply said, "Quiet, be still!" In an instant the wind died down, and the sea became completely calm. The water, which moments ago was a terrifying monster, was now as smooth as glass, a perfect mirror reflecting the now quiet sky. The disciples looked around in stunned silence, their fear replaced by a profound sense of awe as they stared at Jesus. Then Jesus turned to his disciples, his gaze gentle but probing, and asked them, "Do you still have no faith?" It wasn't a harsh rebuke, but a tender question meant for their hearts and for ours today. Why do we let anxiety rule us when the Prince of Peace offers such profound and powerful stillness? This story isn't just about a weather miracle on a lake thousands of years ago. It's a timeless lesson about where we place our trust. It's about remembering that even in the fiercest storms of our lives, there is a source of peace far greater than our anxieties. In a world that often rewards our anxiety, choosing peace is a radical act of faith. It's trusting that even when everything feels out of control, we are not alone and we are not abandoned. So, the next time the storms of life begin to rage, remember that little boat on the Sea of Galilee. Remember the one who can calm any storm, both outside of you and within your heart. Choose peace. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and share.